Welcome to Odd Crime Chronicles. Hello! Let's dive into the story of Kamalkant Shah, a name that echoed with respect in the bustling city of Mumbai.
Kamalkant Shah.
A devoted husband, a loving father, a successful businessman, his life, a tapestry woven with threads of love, laughter, and prosperity. But destiny, it seemed, had a cruel twist in store. It began innocuously, a persistent stomach pain, nausea that wouldn't subside. Doctors were consulted, medicines prescribed. Yet, Kamal's health deteriorated. The man, once the picture of vitality, was now a shadow of his former self. His family, clinging to hope, prayed for his recovery. Then, the unthinkable happened. Kamal succumbed to his illness, leaving behind a void that could never be filled. His family was devastated, their grief palpable. Little did they know, the nightmare was far from over. The truth, as they would soon discover, was far more sinister than they could have ever imagined. What really happened to Kamalkant Shah? Was it just a tragic illness, or something more nefarious? Stay tuned as we unravel the twisted love triangle that led to his mysterious death. And rumors began to swirl in the hospital corridors, whispers of something amiss. Kamal's sudden decline and the baffling nature of his illness raised red flags. The doctors, seasoned professionals, couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. The possibility, however remote, of foul play hung heavy in the air. Their suspicions were confirmed when the toxicology reports arrived. The results were chilling. High levels of arsenic and thallium, potent poisons, coursed through Kamal's system. These were not substances one would ingest accidentally. This was no illness. This was murder. The news spread like wildfire, sending shockwaves through the family and the community. What began as mourning transformed into a quest for justice. Who would commit such a heinous act against a man like Kamal? The police, armed with this chilling revelation, began their investigation. Their search for the truth would unearth a web of deceit, betrayal, and a love triangle that had turned deadly. As the investigation gained momentum, detectives began to piece together the puzzle of Kamal's life. They delved into his business dealings, his social circles, and most importantly, his family life. It was during this deep dive that a name surfaced with alarming regularity: Hiten Kapoor, Kamal's business partner and close confidant. Hiten, a charming and charismatic man, had been a constant presence in Kamal's life. But beneath the veneer of friendship, a darker truth lurked. The police uncovered evidence of a clandestine affair between Hiten and none other than Kamal's wife, Kajal. This revelation sent ripples of shock and disbelief through the investigation. Could Kajal, the grieving widow, be involved in her husband's murder? The thought seemed unfathomable, and yet the evidence was mounting, pointing towards a motive as old as time: love, betrayal, and the insatiable thirst for freedom. The focus of the investigation shifted, the lens now trained on Kajal. Her every move was scrutinized, her every word analyzed. The grieving widow, once an object of sympathy, was now a person of interest in her own husband's murder. The police uncovered inconsistencies in her statements, discrepancies in her alibi. Her behavior, once deemed grief-stricken, now seemed staged, rehearsed. The more they dug, the deeper the suspicion grew. Kajal, they realized, was a master manipulator, adept at concealing her true emotions behind a veil of innocence. But was she capable of murder? Could she have orchestrated her own husband's demise? The police weren't convinced of her innocence just yet. Their gut feeling told them there was more to Kajal's story than met the eye. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source: Kamal's sister, Priya. Priya, racked with grief, revealed a chilling detail to the police.
I had harbored suspicions about Hiten's intentions for years. I had witnessed, on more than one occasion, a strange possessiveness in Hiten's behavior towards Kajal. There were hushed whispers I overheard between Kajal and Hiten, conversations laced with urgency and secrecy. I couldn't decipher the exact words, but the tone sent shivers down my spine.
Armed with this new information, the police confronted Hiten. Under the pressure of interrogation, Hiten cracked. He confessed to the affair, his voice trembling with a mix of guilt and fear, but he vehemently denied any involvement in Kamal's murder. He claimed to have been a pawn in Kajal's game, blinded by love and manipulated into silence. Hiten's confession sent shockwaves through the investigation. It was the missing piece of the puzzle, the key that unlocked the truth. Kajal, driven by her desire for freedom and fueled by greed, had meticulously planned her husband's demise. She had seduced Hiten, exploiting his feelings for her, using him as a pawn in her twisted game. And once Kamal was out of the picture, she would be free to claim his fortune, his legacy, his life. But her web of deceit didn't end there. the investigation revealed another chilling truth. Kamal's elderly mother, who had passed away a few months prior, had also been a victim of Kajal's ruthlessness. The cause of death had been attributed to natural causes, but the symptoms were eerie. The police exhumed the body of Kamal's mother. The results of the autopsy were conclusive. Traces of the same poisons found in Kamal's system were present in her remains. Kajal, it seemed, had a pattern of eliminating anyone who stood between her and her desires. Confronted with this overwhelming evidence, Kajal's carefully constructed facade crumbled. She confessed to both murders, her voice devoid of remorse. She spoke of her actions with a chilling detachment, her words sending a collective shudder through the interrogation room. The news of Kajal's arrest spread like wildfire through Mumbai. The community, once shocked by Kamal's death, was now reeling from the revelation of his wife's betrayal. The case became a media sensation, the courtroom packed with reporters and curious onlookers eager to witness the downfall of the woman dubbed the Black Widow, a justice served cold. The trial was a media spectacle. The prosecution presented a compelling case, laying bare Kajal's web of deceit and the cold-blooded nature of her crimes. They painted her as a manipulative and ruthless woman, driven by greed and an insatiable thirst for power. The defense, on the other hand, attempted to portray Kajal as a victim of circumstance, a woman trapped in a loveless marriage, driven to desperate measures by a controlling husband. But their arguments rang hollow in the face of the overwhelming evidence. The jury deliberated for days, carefully considering the evidence presented. Finally, the verdict was delivered. Guilty. Kajal, the woman who had once captivated Mumbai with her beauty and charm, was now a convicted murderer, sentenced to life behind bars. Scars that time cannot heal. Justice had been served, but the scars of Kajal's crimes ran deep. Kamal's family, shattered by his loss and betrayed by someone they had loved and trusted, struggled to pick up the pieces of their lives. Priya, haunted by the memory of her brother and the knowledge of what her former sister-in-law had done, dedicated her life to seeking justice for victims of domestic violence.
Kamal's children, robbed of their father's love and their innocence, faced a future forever tainted by the shadow of their mother's crimes. The pain of their loss was a wound that would never fully heal, a constant reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most seemingly perfect lives.
A community shaken, a family broken. The impact of Kamal's murder extended far beyond the walls of the courtroom. The community, once a place of warmth and familiarity, was now shrouded in suspicion and fear. Neighbors who had once shared meals and laughter now eyed each other with distrust, the memory of Kajal's betrayal casting a long shadow.
The case served as a stark reminder that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places, even within the sanctity of one's own home. It forced people to confront the uncomfortable truth that monsters don't always lurk in the shadows. Sometimes they hide in plain sight, concealed behind masks of normalcy and respectability.
The tragedy shook the community to its core, leaving behind a legacy of pain, distrust, and a profound sense of loss. In the wake of tragedy, years have passed since the trial, but the memory of Kamalkant Shah's murder continues to resonate in the annals of Mumbai's history. It serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life, the devastating consequences of greed and betrayal, and the enduring power of truth. The case also highlighted the importance of awareness and vigilance in the face of domestic violence. It sparked conversations, albeit uncomfortable ones, about the hidden epidemic that plagues countless households. In the wake of tragedy, there is often a glimmer of hope. Kamal's story, though born of darkness, ignited a spark of change. It prompted individuals to confront the uncomfortable realities of domestic abuse, to recognize the warning signs, and to speak out against injustice. And in that collective act of defiance, there lies a glimmer of hope for a safer, more just tomorrow. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories that matter.